Welcome to History 358-700, Spring 2015. Black American History, which is American History and Black History to 1877. Most of the information I'm going to be giving you in this very, very short little introductory lecture is contained in your syllabus. There's just a few things I want to go over to make sure that you are aware of. Now, I know that first sentence sounds kind of redundant. This is an online class, and you must have regular access to a computer and to the internet, which goes without saying. There's no way you can take an online class if you don't have access to a computer. And the other reason I put that in there is because I have a student in another class who, because of personal problems, has had to change her residence, where she does not have a computer and has to go into town to the library to use a computer, which creates a lot of problems, believe me. If you don't have regular access, such as at the school library or school computer lab or your own personal computer, it's going to be difficult. And of course, you must sign in to your Blackboard assignments at least once a week to keep up with the assignments and announcements. Now, a lot of people take online courses because they seem to think they're going to be easier. And that's really not the case, because it's not easier, and in some cases it's even harder. Not necessarily the work is harder, but it's the fact that you don't have the support of your fellow students. You don't have immediate access to your professor. And sometimes this can create emotional problems, if nothing else. Of course, the advantages are that you can work on your course at your time instead of sitting in a classroom at a specific time. I prefer classroom work myself, but then that's generational. I prefer a blackboard to a computer, as a matter of fact, but that's neither here nor there. You can work your assignment after you get off work. You can work it while your baby's asleep. You can work it do some work on a break at work. That's the advantage. But I must remind you that because of changes in rules at WKU, that we no longer can consider you an attending student simply because you have checked into the class. You must submit an assignment to be considered an attending student. So to make it a little easier, I have posted a discussion question that you can go in and basically just introduce yourself to the rest of the class. It's not required. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But by going in and answering the question like, what's your favorite food? When do you graduate? Why are you taking this course? This type of thing. You're going to gain 2 points and be considered an attending student, and thereby you will have the rest of the week to do your lesson. Like I say, it's not mandatory, but it will count you as an attending student. And I am Judy Graves. Unfortunately, that looks just like me. No, it doesn't. I had cataract surgery since I've had that picture taken, and I no longer wear glasses. Office hours? Well, it seems like a silly thing to say since it's an online course, but every Friday afternoon between 5 and 7 Central Time, I will be sitting in front of the computer. And that way you can ask me questions at the time and get an immediate answer. Not that you won't get an answer if you send an email, but it will be an immediate answer. I've given you my school email address, WKU. I've given you my alternate address at AOL. And yes, I'm still one of those people who have an AOL address. I do check my email at least once daily. I try to check it more often, but sometimes it's not possible. But at least once is for sure. If you do not get a response from me, if nothing else to say, message received, I'll take care of it. Thank you for asking, whatever. I will respond to every email. And if you do not get a response, I did not receive it. So try sending it again. And of course, there is no office on campus. So I've given you my cell number. Now, this isn't to use to call and find out what the weather's like in my part of the state, or telling me that you have a headache. If you have an important question of something you need to know right now, or if you've got an emergency, please feel free to use it. But it is not just for miscellaneous chat. Let's go quickly over the course requirements. Each week is considered a lesson. Thus, lesson 1 is week 1. And each week you will have a chapter to read from your text. And since you already have your books, you know that they're very short chapters. You will probably have a supplemental reading and or a document to read. There will be a lecture with a PowerPoint behind it where I give you information in the text, not necessarily in the order of the text, and I also give you additional information, and I try to tell you up front, this is not in your text. I may even have a suggested website for you to read, and most times a YouTube for you to watch. And after each lesson, or after each chapter, you'll have what we call a graded assignment or long answer questions. It's 3 essay questions pertaining to information from the lecture in the chapter. And you must answer each one of these questions in no less than 125 words. And for just the 3 questions, you have a whole hour to do it. And the main reason I give you the full hour is so that you'll have time to read the question and think about it a minute before you start typing your answer. Because I definitely want complete, thorough, detailed answers. And by the way, 125 words is basically 5 typed lines in your answer selection box. Now, if you haven't assigned reading from the supplement, there will be 2 questions from that. They're again brief essay questions, a minimum of 100 words, and you have 45 minutes to complete them. And after each one, there's also a short multiple choice quiz, which the computer will grade, incidentally, and you have 30 minutes to complete. After every 3 chapters, other than when we get to the Civil War, it won't be 3 chapters. I think I cut it off after 2 chapters to do the Civil War. Anyway, for most times, it'll be after 3 chapters. You'll have a test. The test will consist of multiple choice, true or false, identification, and a brief essay. And you'll have 2 hours to complete. Now you can go in and out of the assignment, reading assignments, as often as you want. But once you go into an assigned writing assignment, such as your essay questions or a quiz or a test, you have a limited amount of time to complete, and you can only go in 1 time. Now, I have not set it up to kick you off at the end of the time. For instance, if you go in to take a quiz, it's 30 minutes. If you go 33 minutes, it's not going to kick you off. It causes all kinds of problems when you set it up to automatically kick you off, and I'm sure you've had some classes where this happened. No, I will not deduct any points if you're 5 minutes or so over. If you go 15 minutes over, yeah, I'm going to deduct some points for being late. Your system will also tell you you can sign off and go back in. Yes, you can. But once you enter a written assignment, your clock starts keeping time. And it doesn't stop until you submit the work. So if you go in to take your quiz and you work on it 5 minutes and you sign out and save it and go to take a bath or run to the grocery store or something, the clock timer is going to keep on ticking. Now, there is no way I know that you can feed the baby or run to the store or take a bath in 5 minutes or so. So my suggestion is if you don't have the full 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours to complete whatever assignment you're working on, don't start. So make sure that you complete. And if I remember right, I think the system tells you when you're getting close to your time. But most people don't have any problems completing. And as many times as I've taught this course, I can count on one hand the people who had trouble completing in that length of time. Don't believe you'll have any problems. If you do, let me know. Your book report is due on Friday, April the 3rd at 10:30. You can go in and out of those posted requirements in the assignment as many times as you need. If you've got any questions, ask before the due date. The same thing with the critical analysis. And I've also got a little attachment in there that tells you what a critical analysis is and how you should write it. Then I tell you what it is I expect from the critical analysis, and I even tell you what the critical analysis is. It's due on Friday, April 24th. Now, your book report and your analysis should be cited according to the Chicago method. Now, I'm sure you all know other different methods, predominantly the MLA method. However, our history department chair has deemed that we need to use the Chicago method. And I've made a little bit of alteration, basically just 2 differences between that and MLA. Instead of having a works cited page, you will have a bibliography page. Same information, same way. And instead of citing internally, like at the end of a sentence, you're going to cite, Chicago method is nothing more than citing footnotes. Not endnotes, footnotes. And if you don't know how to do them when you set your form up, you go up the top and tell what kind of citations you want to use. If you tell it you want Chicago method or footnotes, it'll put it in for you. There'll be a final test due on May the 13th. I think I opened it up about, I don't know, around the 9th or 10th. You got 3 or 4 days to do it. And I've got to have it by 10:30 p.m. And it's not a conclusive. I don't believe in those except for math. So it will only cover the chapters we've covered since the last test, and it counts no more nor any less than any other test. All weekly assignments are due by Sunday evening at 10:30. If you have a test, it's due the following Monday at 10:30. Your assignments will be graded and posted the week following the submission, except for the quizzes, which are graded immediately. And I have it broken down. You have 1 discussion question worth 2 points. You have 5 100-point tests worth 100 each, is 500. You have 13 graded assignments at 30 points each, and then 3 essay questions. That's 390 points. You've got 12 quizzes at 10 points each and 1 for 20. Now, your first quiz is worth 20 instead of 10 because you didn't have a supplemental reading. So you've got the possibility of 50 points to be earned each lesson. You got 13 supplemental readings spread out over the semester, and some of them have 15 points on them, some of them have 30 points on them. You have 1 book report at 200 points, 1 critical analysis at 100 points, so you have total possible earned points of 1,627. And I have it broken down here also. The max you can get is 1,627. The minimum you can get and pass the course is 1,005. And as you can see, there's only about 622 points difference between a D and an A. So even if you can't complete an assignment, I suggest you at least work on it and earn some points. And of course, there is no system set up for extra credit work or for makeup work. So if you missed an assignment, I'm sorry, you just missed it. Here again, you must log into the course regularly. According to WKU rules, if you have not logged onto the course in over a week, I will try to send you a reminder email. If you have not logged onto the course in over 2 weeks, the system may lock you out of the course, even if I've forgotten to send you a reminder email. A few quick reminders. You must submit an assignment or complete the discussion question to be considered as an attending student. The system is on Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you submit your work by that time. I think I have some of the assignments set up to submit by 11:30, but that is Eastern Time, so you need to do it 10:30. Keep in touch. I cannot help you if I don't know what's going on, or if you've got some problems, or if there is heaven forbid, a death in the family. I need to know these things. If you have not done so already, read the entire syllabus. It goes into a lot more detail and gives you a lot more information than I have in this short introduction. Now, you're going to be learning some things that are going to surprise you, and you're going to be learning some things that are going to disturb you. Just remember, you're here to learn. You're not here to condemn or to get angry about. Well, I guess it would be okay to get angry, but just remember, we're learning about things that have happened in the past. And remember, the people in those days, 200 or 300 years ago, they were just as moral as you and I are. It's just that their values were different in those days. So welcome to class, and don't ever hesitate to email me with questions. And I think you'll enjoy the class.